Hi and welcome to Craft Beautiful Daily Die Cut. I'm here to show you how to do a partial cut with your dies so that you can create a card like this flip card. And it's just made with one die, but what you don't do is you don't cut all the way around. You leave a gap. So, to prepare, I've got a piece of card here. This piece of card is 21 centimetres by nearly 11 centimetres. It allows a bit of cutting there on my behalf. And what I've done is I've covered the front of it with patterned papers, and that's the midway point. And if you flip it over, you can see I've just drawn some pencil lines in here that I can rub out later. That's the midway point, and this is 2.5 centimetres away from it. So if you take your thin die, this is quite a nice thin frame, what you need to do is place the centre of your thin die on that centre line and hold it in place with a bit of washi tape. Now I'm going to die cut this so that I can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to place my mat that's already got the cuts on it on the downside, put my paper and card in, and then what you need to do is you need to line up the edge of your top mat with that pencil line that you've drawn, because you want to cut this section of the die but not that section. Slide it in as much as you can. Now this is the tricky part because you need 3 hands. There you go. I suspect that has slipped slightly, so what I'm going to do is just put that back down again. I'm going to wind it back the other way because I'd really like an accurate cut on that halfway line. So when you take it out, leave it taped on there, but you can see it's cut. I don't know if you can see those lines. It's cut up to that halfway point on my paper. Pop it back in and cut on the other line. That's alright, that's not going to slip this time. Okay, wind it through. And you can see that it's cut that bit and that bit. So, go back to the drawing board. If you then just take your die off the back, and remove it. And then what you need to do is you do need to score down these lines. Now, if I'd thought to bring a scoreboard in with me, I would have done, but you can do it quite easily with a ruler and the blunt end of your scalpel. And also, you would rub those lines out. If you then fold along these score lines, and it's actually quite easy to do because you've got the paper is obviously thinner in these bits here. It will make it fold very easily. And fold them in both directions because it will make your card flip much better. Then all you need to do, as you can see it's flipping, is you need to cover the back side of this. This is a very pale cream paper shape that's been cut with exactly the same die that I've used for the flip card, so it fits on there perfectly. It's such a pale cream that you probably can't see the difference between the two. So just pop it on there. It just neatens up the back of your card. Like that. That's how we do it, isn't it? It's one of those things you do these demonstrations and you think, well, which way have I folded that? So then I'm just going to decorate what will be the front of the card with another die cut shape of exactly the same size. Pop it in place like this. Please ignore the dirty finger mark in the corner there. And because this was from a set of what they call nesting dies, I'm just going to pop another one in the centre so that you've got a nice frame. And then this side obviously will come back again. Like this. So you can have your card flipping in either direction, and then all I've just done to decorate the card is I've used some of these very intricate dies which can be attached just with a bit. I don't tend to over glue these because what you find is your glue, especially if you're using something like a dry glue stick, will come up through the holes of your design. And it can be quite tricky with things like these sentiments because they are so fine they will bend out of shape a bit if you're not careful. But your best bet is to lay it down, lay part of it down here, and then just manipulate it into position. And then if you find you've got areas that are sticking up, or sticking to your fingers, what you can do is you can just get a bit of glue on the end of your scalpel, and while you're holding it in place you can just tuck it under there and stick it down effectively. There's also another great product actually you can buy to use with these intricate dies, which is like a double-sided, it's like double-sided tape on a sheet. You put it onto your paper to start with, then you feed it through the die cut. That's not sticking at all under these lights. You put it through the die cut machine and then you peel off the protective backing and you've got glue all over the back of it. Makes it much, much easier. But that's a very simple way of making a flip card, just by lining up your top cutting plate so that you don't cut the whole of the card. Hope that's given you some inspiration to make your next card, and we'll see you next time.